In the days following the May 30th Surface Duo and Duo 2 system update, lots of people began reporting issues with their devices. Basically, the device would at random reboot, show a screen that said that their device had been corrupted in some way, that it might need to be factory reset. You could bypass this and just let it reboot, and everything would work as normal until later on this thing may reboot again. Now, I talked about this in the original video about this update, and we came to the conclusion from the poll that I ran that it wasn't a huge, like a majority of people having this issue. It was something around 9% of people on each device. So like 9% of people said they were having this problem on Duo 1, 9% said they were having the problem on Duo 2, and the rest of that percentage said they were not having this issue at all. But even still, 18%, something in that ballpark, is far too high a number for something like this to be happening. That's way too many people to be having their device basically be unreliable at this point, rebooting at random. So since then, I've been doing as much as I possibly can to kind of get to the root of what's going on here. Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, I haven't had this issue on my device. So that has made things a bit more difficult for me to investigate because I'm reliant upon the reports from other people. But I did start seeing people mention that Wi-Fi seemed to be related to this. People saying that turning off Wi-Fi would fix the problem for them. They were no longer rebooting. But then I also saw further reports that it wasn't just Wi-Fi, that it was also the fact that they were running a VPN. So what I did to try and kind of get to the bottom of this is I ran another poll and I asked if you've had the crashing / rebooting issue on your Surface Duo after the May update, were you using a VPN at the time of the reboot? Because like I said, this was kind of being touted as the fix, that it was basically the VPN was having some issue where location services were crashing, and that was the cause of this. But as you can see here from this poll, 100 votes there, which isn't a huge amount, but I think it's decent enough to be able to say definitively if VPN use is the solitary issue. And I think that we can conclude from this that it is not the solitary issue. Now, do I think it may be contributing for some people? That's absolutely possible. And if you're having this issue and you're using a VPN, I would recommend turning it off and seeing if that makes a difference for you. But I'm not going to tell you that it's going to solve your issue. Turn off VPN doesn't work, turn off the Wi-Fi. And that is probably your best bet at getting this to stop right now. What exactly is going on here with the Wi-Fi causing this to crash? I really have no idea. I mean, it could be something down to particular routers, particular levels of signal or lack of signal. There could be so many variables causing this, it's not even funny. And unfortunately, we don't really know when this is going to be fixed. Hopefully, it is fixed with the next Surface Duo update, but that may still be 2, almost 3 weeks away at this point. Now, I've also been sent by several different people a thread on answers.microsoft.com where people were asking and talking about this exact problem. And there was a Microsoft employee that answered this, basically saying that they were actively investigating the situation. And this has kind of been touted as, oh, Microsoft is on it, they're going to fix it. Personally, I just want to put this out here. These sorts of answers from Jeremy, Microsoft employee, on their answers website don't really mean anything at all. These people are workers on a forum. I'm not trying to disparage these people, but to take that as anything more than basically a generic answer from someone that answers questions on these forums, I think would be a mistake. I do think Microsoft is aware of this. I think that it is still true that they are aware of it and hopefully they are working on it. But again, we just can't put like a ton of stock into what the people on Microsoft's answers website say, because they've said that things were being worked on, and so they basically given answers like this for other problems in the past that have clearly never been addressed. So that doesn't really mean anything, although I do think there's a decent chance that with the next update, this will be fixed. We had something similar happen with the Android 12.0 rollout where people were having pretty major difficulties with phone calls, receiving phone calls, answering them, so forth and so on. And with the very next update, there was text in the changelog saying that this had been addressed and fixed, and it was fixed. By that point, people were not having that issue anymore. So I'm hopeful that that will be a similar situation to what we have here with this issue. Now, I do want to kind of point out a positive spin on this. The fact that something has been broken does kind of indicate that more changes were going on than just the generic security patch. People I've talked to don't know for sure if some of the Duo team members have been able to move back to the Duo project from the Teams thing, so that is still a bit up in the air. But changes are being made, and if you dig into this update like Gus Mons from the Windows 11 project has, what you will discover is that a lot of the Qualcomm firmware files for things like the modem and audio, so forth and so on, have actually been updated. Now, I can't speak too deeply on the rest of this just because I don't have the sufficient knowledge to really break it down and tell you what it means. But again, if you look at this stuff, there were a significant number of changes made in this update in particular for Duo 2. So that is kind of a positive sign, if you will. There are changes being made. It's just unfortunate that some of these changes actually did break something. Hopefully it does get fixed very, very soon. But again, I kind of wanted to bring this update to you guys. This is where we stand right now. If you're having this issue, turn off the VPN. If that doesn't work, turn off your Wi-Fi, and that should, for most people, apparently be at least a temporary fix. And it's unfortunate because you want to use your Wi-Fi when you're around it, but if you want to use your device, period, this may be currently the only way to do it. Of course, stay tuned to this channel. If there are more fixes and things that are going to be possible for the majority of people to use, I'll be bringing that to you, but hopefully we just get an update very, very soon that fixes that. And of course, I'll be bringing that information to you as well, guys. I'll see you on the next one, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.